everybody, and welcome to another RostyMaths video. And welcome back to my Year 7 number series. So as you can see, everything that's been highlighted, there is a video for those already. This is my curriculum, as you know, so if you've been following me all along, you will know that this is what I am working through. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at square roots. So in order for you to be successful in the video today though on square roots, you need to be good at your square numbers. If you don't know what square numbers are, click on the pop-out banner up here and go and watch my video on square numbers. Otherwise, just wait until the end of the video. I'll leave a card at the end for you to go watch the video after, but you do need to know it. Anyway, without further ado, let's go to square roots. Before we continue, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you will know as soon as a new video has landed. Okay, so first of all, let's see what a square root is. So a square root, the symbol that you will notice, is recognized by this. So this is a square root. And it looks like that. I tend to draw my square roots like that. So if you see me draw it like that, please don't be alarmed. That's basically how I draw mine. It feels more natural for my fingers to move like that. And like I said, if you're going to do square roots, you need to know your square numbers. So what I have done to make this lesson really easy, I have written down all of the square numbers up to 12 square. So you can find these in your times tables. So 1 times 1 is 1, that's 1 square, it's 1. 2 square is 4. Again, if you're not too sure about what I'm on about, make sure you watch that video popping out in the pop-out banner right now. 3 square is 9, and so on. So these are my square numbers, and you really need to know them by heart. So what does a square root do? Well, every square number has got, wait for it, a squared factor. And don't forget, a factor is a number that goes into another number without leaving a remainder. If you're not too sure about your factors, click on the pop-out banner up there and go and watch my video on factors. But a factor, it goes into a number without leaving a remainder. Now, 16, it's got a squared factor of 4 because the factor is 4 and it's been squared. Now, what does that really mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, what that means, let's just take that 16 apart. What that means is 4 times 4 gives us 16. 4 is the squared factor. When I say squared factor, please don't take that lightly because what I'm actually saying, it's a square factor. Okay, so 4 times 4 gives me 16. Notice the 4 is multiplied by itself. If I wanted 9, 3 times 3 gives me 9. Notice the 3 is multiplied by itself. So the squared factor of 9 is 3. Now let's go into what a square root is. If I square root the number 9, my answer would be 3. And that's because I know that the squared factor of 9 is 3. If I square root 16, my answer is going to be 4. And that's because I know the squared factor of 16 is 4. If I square root 49, my answer is going to be 7. Because I know the squared factor of 49 is 7. And that's it, guys. That's all a square root does. All it does is takes a square number and undo it, bringing it back to its squared factor. So long story short, if you know your square numbers and you see it inside of a square root, getting the squared factor is dead easy. Now let's up the ante a little bit. Let's make this a little bit more challenging. What if I have to find the square root of 0.81? What is that going to be? Well, I'm happy to tell you that 81 is a square number. So 0.81 is also a square number. And so what would be the squared factor of 81? Well, I know it's 9. So the squared factor of 0.81 would be 0.9. And just like that, look at that, you're square rooting decimals. Did you see that coming? That's absolutely amazing. So there you go. So we square rooted decimals. And I can muck around with any of these numbers here and find the square root of them. Let's do one more just for the sake of it. Let's do the square root of 1.44. Now, 1.44, well, in its previous life, it used to be 144. But I've now put a decimal point just there. So I already know the answer is going to have a 12. It's going to look like a 12 anyway. But where does my decimal go? Well, my decimal goes in the middle here. So it's going to be 1.2. And just like that, we're smashing that out. Now, to finish off this video, why, you say, is it going to be 1.2? How do I know it's 1.2? How do I know that that's 0.9? Well, for that one, you need to go and check out my video on times tables in the pop-out banner up there. Have a look at that. But I'm just going to give you a clue now into that. I know that 0.9 times 0.9 is going to be equal to 0.81. And the reason why I know that is this. Well, I already know 9 times 9 is 81. So I already know my answer is going to have 81 in it. But this has been divided by 10. This has been divided by 10. So when I go to my 81, I need to divide it by 10 twice. So I divide it by 10 once, it becomes 8.1. I divide it by 10 again, it becomes 0.81. And that's as simple as it is. Our number system is beautiful. Once you understand it, maths will become even more easy for you. All right? And it's exactly the same thing with my 1.2. If I multiply 1.2 times 1.2, I already know that that looks like a 12. So my answer has to be 144 somewhere. But that's been divided by 10. That's been divided by 10. So divide this by 10 twice. You divide it by 10 once, you got 14.4. Divided by 10 again, you got 1.44. And that's basically it. All right, guys, that will do it for today. If you learned something new and this video is enjoyable, give it a like. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any time a video comes live. That's square root. This is RostyMaths. Thank you for watching and peace.